more time. Who wants to know? I do, I said in an almost whisper. I was confused. It was a simple question. I wasn't understanding why she had answered my question with a question. You. Mom knew better. She had a way of seeing through my sweaty, round self. She always knew when I was making things up. All the kids at the playground were saying what they are, and then they asked me, and I said, I don't know. And they all laughed at me. And what are they? They're Swedish and Italian and German, and one boy has an uncle who's a real-life pirate. She let loose a low giggle. Well, Norma, you tell people this. Tell them that you're French. You were born in Quebec, and that's all they need to know. Mom turned back to the counter, and her skilled hands went back to slicing the potato. The paring knife looked like an extra finger. It was a part of her. Cutting and scraping, working with knives and blades was familiar, something she was born into. I grew up in a house with tight rules and strict ways of behaving. We were a family that never spoke of the past, only the present, never yesterday. Our lives were precision-filled routines. I never once displayed any real emotions and always did as ordered, never the unexpected. The next time that I was at the playground, I proudly told the other little kids that I was French. It never once entered my head that I was anything else but French, even with the last name of Dunning. When I said I was French, no one questioned my dark eyes or hair or high cheekbones. No one asked for any further details, and because no one else asked, I didn't either. I went along well into my teens feeling fairly secure in telling other people that I was born in Quebec. My mom was fluent in French, and I took French classes. Therefore, I was definitely French. I could put all of that information out into the world, but inside of me sat an unease. It was the unease of knowing that there was a secret humming inside of my family. It was growing older and watching how my parents operated in the world, how our lives revolved around the seasons of each year, how fall was hunting and plucking geese and seeing hideless moose meat dangling in cold garages, how winter was being outside and playing for hours and hours in the snow and never learning how to stop on my ice skates. I spent year after year crashing into outdoor rink boards. Spring bore summer, and summer was camping and being barefoot and days when the tight restrictions of time would loosen. Summer was riding in the old station wagon for hours and hours and finally stopping to camp and build a fire and run with the feeling of a freed stallion. Summer was playing Indian rubber with a bat and a small, hard black ball that left bruises everywhere on our bodies, because each of my brothers and sisters wanted to win at a game that was without rules. Summer was when our lives were released from the routine of Dad's drinking and beating Mom and the fear of Friday nights. Summer brought a calmness over all of us, but that sense of unease lingered inside of me. Not knowing what we were mixed itself up with trying to understand the small things that happened. I was always trying to understand why we were treated the way we were by some relatives. The secret inside of my family hummed and grew taller with me as things happened with Dad's family that I never